The quest to read all the books on the shelf continues. I just finished Making the Most of Your Deer. This one pretty much about butchering your deer, using the antlers to make stuff like chandeliers and things, knife handles, using the tallow to make soap. Difference is this guy, he's big into aging the meat after you kill your deer and get them hung up, age them for a week or so. Me, I like to just put mine fresh in the fridge and then cut it up and freeze it. So there's one book down. I finished Bonnie and the Kelly Gang. That one was a pretty short one. It was about, takes place in Australia, I do believe. This inspector goes and kind of joins the small community where he's investigating a murder, and he finds the murderer. So it was a pretty good book. Quick read. Let's see, I read The Roots of American Civilization. Yeah, this one I enjoyed. Like 720 pages. Took me a while to get through this one here, but I really liked it. A history of American colonial life. Now, it took them about 200 pages to actually get to the American colonial life part. Before that, it's all talking about leading up to why there were colonies in America. A whole big section about the Spanish exploration in South America and all that jazz. But it turned out to be a good book. It just took a while for them to get going on the actual colonial life. But I did like that part. He seems like the merchant class in Parliament was passing laws to enrich themselves at the expense of the Americans. And the Americans were like, well, we're going to boycott British goods. So they did. And then the king was like, well, if you're not going to trade with us, you're not going to trade with anyone. And in 1775, in December, passed the law and went and blockaded the ports and stuff. So the Americans were like, this means war. So it was a good book. I like that one. And I read the Gardens for All book of cucumbers, melons, and squash. Now, I had read this one before. Read it a second time. Now it can come off the shelf. Their biggest thing was interplanting radishes with your squashes and melons and stuff. That way you have a radish harvest before your other plants grow big enough to shade them out. So I like that book too. And I also read The Arkansas Sportsman. This one was August 1983, a magazine that is older than me. This one was a lot of deer hunting. It goes into several of the wildlife management areas we have here in Arkansas and shows the harvest statistics for the last couple of years, parking access, how many acres it is, all that good stuff. That one, yeah, I'm going to keep that one. I might read it again later. But the rest, they get to go in the box and move on to others. So that's a couple more books down off the shelf. Closer to having them all read. I got several more behind me and in the other rooms. But that's an update on that. That's what I'm reading because Arkansas.